I'm going to open up Chrome. I'm going to use the up arrow on the keyboard. The last video I did use the console, the JavaScript console in the browser to try something out, which is something I do a lot. Prove out a concept, try something real quick, to quickly try it out and see what's up. I created this function called track user where I would just pass in the string value of a user and then it would just do this console log. Oh, there's a typo here, like that. So that if I were to call this, it would just say track user Brian Swisher. Oh, it looks like I want to not only put the E there, but also a space right here too. Track user Brian Swisher. So all I'm doing is I'm using the up arrow on the keyboard to recall the command that I just did, and then I go in and I can command K will clear it, up arrow will bring it back, and then I can go in and I can edit it and stuff like that, like put a period there if I wanted to be very formal about that. Oh, maybe also track will be uppercase. Track user Brian Swisher. And what I was showing in the video when I was doing this was this setting. I won't change it here, but I'll just to recap, it was under privacy and security, cookies and other data, and it was this do not track here. So I was turning this on so that I could get access to this do not track, which is null, right? Because I don't have it set to true. If I had turned it on under the settings, this would have said 1, which is true. But I was basically doing that so I could dynamically set a true. I would set it to track, else it was ignore. I have the opposite logic. So I'm not ignoring because I don't have it set. It's basically, if this is false, I'm going to track. So this is just something I was proving out, very basic thing. I wanted to interact with this navigator do not track, and I just want to try it out real quick in the JavaScript console in the browser. This idea that I'm kind of creating a bunch of these little one-off commands here, track user Brian Swisher. If I wanted to add a little bit more formality to this is something I do often. I use what's called an IFI, or an instantly invoked function expression. Let me copy this here. So I've recalled this, make the white spacing here the right way. One advantage. So by having this IFI that I'm using, I have this kind of protected space inside this closure. Closure can be a confusing thing about JavaScript. One way to think about it is this protected space in memory. A function basically has its own closure. And so what an IFI is doing is it's basically creating an on-the-fly function, and inside that function, it has this protected space. So now I can dynamically pass in something. I want to track a user called Bart Simpson, track user Bart Simpson. So basically I'm keeping the part that's going to be changing outside of the internals here, which is, the function that I'm creating. One other thing that's cool is, say, let me copy what it's logging out here. Say I remove that, it says undefined here. The way I know this to work is if I return this value at the bottom, I know I actually don't need to pass a user in. Since I'm not logging it anymore, I can actually take this away. I don't even have to set the verb because I'm not logging it anymore. I can just return that. So you can see it does the job. I'm not specifically logging anything out. I'm just returning. And so now that's kind of a nifty way to use the console to add a little bit more formality to what you're developing for JavaScript.